Takeda. I am a 30-year-old photographer and I work in marketing in the beauty space.
What's up, y'all? I'm Chioma from White Plains, New York, and I am an instructor for this year's iLevel cohort.
Hi, my name is Sola Sunday. I am from New York, born and raised, Nigerian, born and raised in New York, and I've been shooting for 7 years. I started shooting when I was 21.
I unofficially started shooting, I want to say in 10th grade. I took like a media class, and one of the mediums that we worked with was photography. But it was like one semester, and then after that it was kind of finished, and there weren't really resources supporting students that were into that. I wasn't even aware of programs beyond my school where students were like learning these things. Like, also at the time I didn't know that it was a possibility to have a career in photography. Like, you see all these images being taken, you read these magazines at the hair salon where you have all these different people on the cover and magazines, and you're just like not taking into account like somebody took these photos, and that means that it is a job. So I didn't even realize that was something that I could do and be interested in beyond like, oh, I'm taking pictures of my friends. But then I came back into photography in college my freshman year because I was friends with a lot of people that were at NYU Tisch. And because, you know, we're all young, nobody had access to like professional models. When they had assignments due, they would ask their friends, myself included, to sit for the photo. But I was more interested in what was happening behind the scenes, started asking questions. And at the end of freshman year, in summer 2015, I bought a camera and I started taking editorial photos. Like, I was just getting my friends and styling them in my clothes and putting them in like different environments. Like, I remember I had one of my friends sitting in like a lawn with like a plaid button down and like some khakis and like I think a water hose, and I don't know what I was like. You see what I'm like. I don't know what I was getting at the time, but that was how it started. And then I eventually fell into documentary photography, and I think that's where my pocket is.
I started shooting because I wanted to document the city as it was changing, and pretty much have a collection of photos for future generations to look back on, so they can see what Brooklyn and other boroughs look like while I was growing up. I shoot with a point-and-shoot film camera for the most part because I think it's a very compact camera. You can take it anywhere with you, and it's very light, and it's very easy to move around with. Being that I'm around a lot of people all the time, especially at like parties and parades and festivals and things like that, it's very hard to walk around with a big camera. So being that I do like film for the preservation aspect of it, the point-and-shoot film camera helps me to be able to walk around easily and take pictures easily, regardless of the quality of the photo.
Today we worked on exploring intimacy and using trust as a vehicle to capture people's most vulnerable and intimate moments. We had a little lecture in the classroom, and then we went outside and did an exercise, getting the students to talk to some strangers, introduce themselves, ask the people about themselves before photographing, and then taking pictures that they feel really represent who folks are.
I love sharing my passion for photography with younger folks who can use it as like another skill, or they can become photographers. I think it's really amazing that they can kind of hold on to a passion that brings them joy, and that's what photography did for me at a young age, and it just feels so great to pass it on forward.
I love teaching because I think it's the perfect way to get information to people. I think education is a very, very important thing. I think it changes lives, and I sincerely believe that with all my heart. And that's the reason why I chose to do iLevel. I do feel like it's very important for kids, especially growing up at this day and age, to be exposed to different mediums of photography and documentation, because everything these days is social media, and I think a lot of us do need to take a step back and think, how do we want to depict things, and how we want to preserve things actually, instead of just being one and done with everything, like how social media encourages us to be.
I I think iLevel is amazing. I think that you guys are doing some great work for the community and passing on the love for photography and film and the art of storytelling forward to the next generation is like one of the best things that we can do when it comes to speaking your truth, standing in your truth, and expressing yourself through art. And what better way to express it through the way that we see the world, literally, and putting our thoughts and feelings into photography is just such a great experience. And I loved teaching this class, and I can't wait to see what they create after learning a little bit more about color and light. Thank you!
I loved being able to teach the kids, expose them to different methods of photography, explain to them how the importance of documentary photography. Some of them already seem to know that, which is really cool. And exposing them to different photographers, because a lot of people, at least these days, they don't research like that. So it's nice to bring the knowledge that I have and give it to future generations, because the youth are the future. So I just love teaching, and I'm just really, really glad and grateful to be able to have this opportunity to be able to be like asked to do it. So I was glad.
I love the iLevel project. I think it is so important that we start early to get kids into the arts. Even if that isn't what they want to pursue long term, I think getting folks to think creatively helps them problem solving. It helps them with their empathy. It helps them to see the world differently and to imagine new futures. Whether their medium is photography or it's science or it's even math or whatever it is, like I think just stretching that part of or flexing that muscle and exercising that part of your brain helps you to think about how you solve problems, how you show up in the world, how you treat people in the world. In a class like this, a cohort like this, a project like this is just so impactful. Like you can tell these students are benefiting. You can tell that like they're coming out their shells, they're learning new things, and I really do hope that they take this outside of the classroom and into their real lives.
Hi, my name is Violet. I am also from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. I think I'm interested in photography just because, I feel like it's a way to capture so many different experiences. No two people have the same story. No one's living the same life, and I think it's so interesting that you can capture that in a photograph. And I like the city. I mean, like Ariette said, I don't like how dirty it is. I think it's a little nasty sometimes. But I like the life, I like the culture of New York City. I think it's really something very original to New York, and you can't really get that in many other places.
My name is Avery. I'm from Flatbush, Prospect Bedford. I'm interested in photography because I like documenting things. I like documenting the places that I'm in, the people that I'm with, because they're very important to me. And I love New York. I love my city. The city's me. I feel like it gets grimy, and I think that this place definitely forces you to lower your standards a little bit, your standards for living. But there's just so much beauty here and so many amazing people. So.
Hi, my name is Marlon. I'm from Harlem, and what I like about photography is documenting my experiences, my family's experiences. It's really showing the way I view the world. And one thing that I dislike about New York City is how money affected the city, how things are very expensive, and I'd say because of that, it affects various communities. So that's what I dislike about the city.
My name's Leah. I'm from Flatbush. I'm interested in photography because I just feel like it captures so much and it says so much without really saying anything at all. And I like New York because I can really just like go anywhere I please. But in Atlanta, like just like that, I can't really do that. You're kind of just stuck very well.
I'm Sydney, I'm from the Bronx, and I'm interested in photography. I think I agree with like the reasons that everyone said, but like more specifically, I like the different perspectives that like a photo can like bring from people because like one, the image is like your perspective on something, but then two, like when your viewers are like looking at it, it's always gonna be like different viewpoints, like interpretations that contribute to like the story you're trying to convey. And I think that that's a really powerful aspect of photography. And something I love about the city is like the culture. I think like everywhere I go, since I've been young, I've like been introduced to different cultures and communities, and like the history of it all I think is really beautiful. And something I dislike, I guess like specifically where I'm from in the Bronx, like the rise of gentrification and like how that impacts like communities is like really heartbreaking. And it's like interesting to see, like especially with photography, like the way that I grew up, certain areas like don't even look the same anymore because of the gentrification. And that's why I think it's like important for us to like document that to preserve it.
My name is Renisa and I'm 15. I was born in St. Kitts and I now live in Long Island. What I like about photography is like I feel like it tells a story. You tell like basically kind of like your background. It tells who a person really is. What's the good question?
And what you like or dislike about New York?
What I like about New York. What I dislike is too many people. What I like is I have more opportunity. Like, I like the variety of options that was given to me.
My name is Dominic, and I'm also from Harlem. I'm interested in photography because I'm like somewhat obsessed with the idea of Sonder, that everyone has their own individualistic like lives and choices, and I think that's just like the most beautiful thing about life itself. And one thing I love about New York City is I like how there's so much diversity here, and there's so many different types of people in like one like remote location. And I think that's just really nice to see. Like every day.
My name is Savannah. I'm from Soundview in the Bronx. The reason why I like photography is because it's like a way for me to like tell a story and also like make memories and like have pictures and like physical pictures to look back on instead of like having a phone to just look at. And I feel like something I love about being in New York is like there's a lot of opportunities and like a lot of people. So like you can do a lot like living in the city compared to like living in like a random small town. Like there's a lot of people like to connect to. And one thing that I don't like is how like expensive the city is. Like everything is expensive. Going out to eat, like so much money in one day, like it's just expensive in the city. That's what I feel.
My name is Jada. I'm from Queens. I like photography because I think like just like a photo just tells like a whole entire story. There's just so much you can just capture in a photo. What I like about New York City, I like that you could just like go anywhere. Like the train just takes you anywhere, and also there's like everything in New York. Like you can anything you want, anything you dream of, you could find it in New York.
My name is Angel. From Washington Heights, up in Manhattan. It's pretty far. The reason why I'm interested in photography is because of the amount of creative freedom that we photographers have. You know, we can either tell a story, an emotion through a picture, or we can leave it up to the interpretation of the viewer. And that's a big power that I'm obsessed with. And a reason why I like the city is just because, as I said before, it's very urban. There's a lot of different places, different people that's in close proximity to where you go, where you live. And but another reason why I dislike the city is just because, as I said before, with like how money pretty much corrupted the city, and politicians and whatever. It's just it's a lot, but it's the world we live in.